Hello, so this is just a little bit of a bonus video to help you when you're reviewing for this chapter. And I often would let people take a sheet like this into their exam as a cheat sheet. And it's just a quick distinction between the three types of forms of lines, of equations of lines, I should say, that we studied in this unit, because there were three of them and sometimes people get them mixed up. So that way, if you are asked on an exam or something to write something in slope intercept versus slope point versus general form, you know exactly what it's asking for. So slope intercept form looks like y equals mx plus b. Slope point form looks like y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And general form looks like ax plus by plus c equals 0. Okay, so those are kind of our three different forms. So let's look at an example or a sample question for each of those. Okay, so first I'm going to go through slope-intercept form. So write the equation of a line that has a slope of 5/2 and a y-intercept of -7 in slope-intercept form. Okay, well, I know that the slope is going to be my m value, and the -7, the y-intercept, is going to be my b value. So when I write that in slope-intercept form, I get y equals 5/2x minus 7. Okay, if I now go to graph that, my y-intercept is going to be -7, which is down here, and my slope is 5/2. So up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 2. So I like to draw as many points as I can to make sure that I have a long enough line. I always want arrows on my lines to show, oh, that was not a line, that it goes on forever. Let's try that again. Oh, I hadn't selected line. That was the problem. Okay, so there's our line. It's got arrows on both sides, and there we go. All right, going to slope point form. Now, slope point form tells us about a point that it's been passed through as well as what the slope is. So this point D, that would be telling us our x1 and y1 values. And the slope, which is the m value, is going to be -4. So I'm going to take my original form here, and I'm going to substitute in. So y minus +5 is just y minus 5. And that's equal to, I think it's trying to put little arrows on me. Okay, that's all right. And that is equal to -4 as my slope. And then I have x minus -3. So watch out for that. So that actually becomes y minus 5 equals -4 times x plus 3. So it is important to notice that we have negatives in our point slope formula. Okay, so there is our final equation. Now when we graph this, we're going to start by plotting -3, 5. 1, 2, 3, and then up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's our starting point. And from there, we're going to use our slope of -4, which means -4, so down 4 and then over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, and then I'm going to end up off my grid. I'm going to go backwards a little bit, pattern it to the left, and there is my line. So now we're going to draw that again with arrows on both sides. Try to draw it as accurately as I can. And there's our line. Okay, the last form is general form. So oftentimes an example or a sample question will give you an equation and ask you to rewrite it into general form. So we want to get rid of our bracket, or pardon me, our fraction. We will eventually get rid of the bracket as well, but I have to multiply all of my terms on both sides by 5. That will eliminate this denominator of 5. So now I'll have 5y minus 5 is equal to 3x, or pardon me, 3 and then x plus 2. Now I'm going to distribute my 3. So I get 5y minus 5 equals 3x plus 6. Now I want it in this form, so I'm going to set the left side equal to 0, which means I'm going to subtract 5y and add 5 to each side. And so that leaves me with 0 equals 3x minus 5y plus 11. Okay, so to graph this one, this general form is useless for graphing. We're actually going to back it up and look at our slope point form that we had up here to graph. So this is telling us that it goes through the point of -2 and 1. So -2 to the left and up 1. And from there, our slope is 3/5. So 1, 2, 3 up and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. And I'm going to repeat that a couple times. I'm going to try to go backward. So down 3 and 5 to the left. Okay, so this was our information that helped us graph. And where did I get these numbers from? From here. The 1 was being subtracted from y, so the 1 stayed positive. What was being subtracted from the x here? Well, it was really x minus -2. That's why that was a negative. Okay, so going on to draw our line here. So there we have our final line. Okay, so hopefully that helps as a bit of a simple review of the equations of lines. In this unit, it is a bit confusing to be working with 3 different forms. So hopefully this is a nice bit of a summary that shows you the difference between the 3 forms.